Termites. It's episode 61. How crazy is that, right? Fire. Oh my God, I am back from Milwaukee and Chicago. Speaking of what I'm drinking, well, I'm drinking out of the Milwaukee Brewing Company. And then this is a beer I found up there. I thought Spotted Cow was my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Outboard, it's a creamy ale. It's not like a session beer. You're not going to have 100. You don't need to take 12 of these, wherever you're going. 2, 3, delicious.
What's it taste like?
Kind of tastes like Spotted Cow, but not as, Spotted Cow's, I think, a little stronger. Yeah. I think Spotted Cow's got a little more oomph to it. But this is why I kind of like this, because I drank this like at 1 in the afternoon, and I didn't want to be too sleepy. Yeah. So, shout out to them. Oh, man. I love Milwaukee. I love Chicago, too, but Chicago, the traffic can be overwhelming, and O'Hare, the airport, is... Well, and the Chicago Marathon was being run, but the Chicago Theatre, and I've spent so many weeks, months of my life in Chicago. In Milwaukee, there'd always been a club up there that I did. But I don't know, I guess because the club... I don't know. We didn't have any money. I don't know what I fucking did all week in Milwaukee, but you don't even need money. I mean, the Milwaukee public market is you want to hit right up this lady's alley. Bratwurst, cheese, Bloody Marys. The line at the Bloody Mary bar was already at 10 o'clock too long. I needed to get in line like at 9:30, so I had to skip it. I was so sad because I was way late. I can't beat the Milwaukeeans. It's just I love the little downtown. It's happy, Summerfest. It's more affordable than people would think. Like, can't say, I mean, the cold would get to me, but, if I'm going to choose to live north, that's where I would go. Yeah. Because Chicago's wonderful, but you have to be super duper rich to live, not super duper rich, or you got to have roommates. Chicago is harder. Yeah. Milwaukee's easier. But I had a wonderful time in Chicago, too. And the theater, the Chicago theater, I mean, you can't top that. You can't. It's amazing. And my friend Keith, it's funny because I have some of my friends that are semi-retiring, and then if I come in town, they're like, well, I'll come down and work it and do all the fancy lighting. I'm like, you don't have to do that. Right. You stay retired. Do whatever you do. But so I got to see my friend Keith. He came down and did, if you like the lighting in Chicago, that was the work of Keith and Bob, the lighting. Bob Peterson is a very famous person. Bob did the lighting for my Bothering Jesus special, but my friend Lorene knew Bob, and Bob's resume, it's way above me. Bob should not be working with me. I'm dragging Bob down. He did the inaugurations, Garth Brooks's things. I'm a downgrade for Bob, but he likes me. So yeah, he did AC/DC at Chicago, at Wrigley. Yeah. I mean, you never think about a lighting guy till you have a shitty one, right? And then you're going to go, what is that? Oh, we better call Bob. So Chicago was a blast. Milwaukee, so much fun. And, man, they have you could get in this van. Well, it's a shuttle. It has a bathroom. They'll take you over to the Brewers game. It'll take you all the way to the Packers game from Milwaukee. Yeah. Cool. And then it's there's a set price and you get drinks and food. The whole thing just seemed fun. And then there's Summerfest up there, too, that I've actually worked at a couple times. And it was always our goal as comedians to get on the comedy stage at Summerfest because you get a badge. Yep. And then that badge gets you anywhere you want to go. Fun. And so they would have the country stage, the folk stage, the heavy metal stage. And I mean, Lewis and I stayed for 3 days off our one pass. I don't know. I don't even know if my badge was valid. Right. But nobody seemed to care. Because I just go, we're going to the comedy stage. We're like the losers, right? Hey, clowns go over there because, I'm sorry, we have the Indigo Girls here. And we've got AC/DC rolling in, Metallica, and okay. Yeah, whatever. What about Black Madigan? What about Louis Black and Kathleen Madigan? Nothing? So, fun had by all. There was great. The crowds are so good. Even Chicago, I know you guys had to wear a mask in and stuff. Milwaukee, I don't think so. But thanks for being good sports about that. Nobody bitched. Nobody complained, including, it is weird, though. You go from Wisconsin, there weren't a lot of mask rules. And then, boom, 30 minutes down the road, Chicago, boom. Yep. Anywhere. Yeah. But the great news is I'm flexible. Yeah. Whatever y'all want to do. Mask? No mask? Vax? No vax? I don't care. I'm just rolling right along.
Tell my jokes.
Yeah, I tell my jokes, get cash. As Ron says, tell jokes, get cash, move on.
Roll on.
So that's what we're drinking today, a little Outboard. What are we going to try? Well, for you people with children, the children, you should know Count Chocula. It's their 50th anniversary. Isn't that crazy, though?
Yeah.
That means I'm older than a cereal.
Yeah.
I'm older than cereal.
I'm not.
50th anniversary. Monster Mash Fun on the back. So if you want to go get, and it's a family size. I would say right now at the grocery store, this costs $52. Fucking A. Cereal, it's like crack. Like, I can't believe. And I saw some old lady at the grocery store, and she bought 2 things of cereal. I know she's way too old to have little kids, but I think she's eating it.
Right.
And I'm like, I bet she didn't look like she had enough more. It's too expensive. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So if you want to get your kids a Halloween thing,
It's back.
and I am doing the work of the Lord, but really I just love this cereal, and I thought this will work for the Pubcast, and I can eat it. Absolutely, I will. Yeah, it's like 12 million calories in one bowl. And the value to your body, nutritional value, zero, nada, zero. These are fun for the kids. It's cute, right? If you're not watching, Hostess ScaryCakes. They're basically they're not ding dongs. What are these really called? I like ding dongs. You know, they're Hostess cupcakes, but they're orange on top, and I've already eaten one. You don't even know that. Yeah, well, I already ate one.
Cheater.
Yeah, they taste exactly the same.
That's a ding dong?
No, it tastes like a Hostess cupcake. Ding dongs taste different because they're hard on the outside. That just tastes like a cupcake.
I thought a ding dong is a cupcake.
No, ding dongs are separate.
I'm sorry you have such a
God damn. Where were you raised?
Wow.
This is really good. If you want to make your kids happy,
Cakes.
yeah, ScaryCakes.
Okay.
They can take them in their lunch.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. It's a Halloween show.
It's a cupcake.
Come
not
on.
a ding
Oh,
dong.
shit. I forgot to wear my orange sweater. I was going to try to be festive. Last little Halloween number. You could give these out if you're not giving out ranch dressings to the children. Junior mints, look, bite the inside. No, they're fine. They're either black or orange on the inside. They taste just like the same. But it's Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't understand Halloween being for adults. We've already talked about that. I'm not going to go into it, but it's for the kids, in my opinion.
Totally.
I just want to drink at home. I don't need to go to dress up,
Right.
go to some fucking adult Halloween party. I mean, why is that different than any other party I go to, except I'm supposed to put more effort into my outfit?
Yeah, true.
I don't know. And that's not even, I like Halloween, but I like it for the children. For the children. All right. What are we tasting? This is truly here's the biggest work of the Lord I'm doing for you people. I hate cilantro on a level. 2 things I hate: curry and cilantro. It's why I won't eat at Chipotle. They always...
It's a Mexican staple.
It's not in all Mexican food, though. I love Mexican food. Some people go heavy on it. Let's put it that way.
True.
And whenever, I don't know, I had a couple writing jobs that I despised. But the little person would come around and say, "What do you want for lunch? We're going to Chipotle." I'm like, ugh. I want not Chipotle because I don't like cilantro. But I'm going to do the work of the Lord, and maybe this is better. I really like Tessamae's pantry dressing. I like all of them. This is cilantro lime ranch. Right.
That sounds awful.
Well, that's for people who really don't want ranch.
Right.
Right?
It's the wrong
You want a
color.
whole different product. Well, I taste the cilantro is not too strong.
It's the wrong color.
Yeah, that's not ranch.
No.
It's like green gray.
Yeah, it's a big red.
Right. You're skipping dairy. I know what you're trying to sneak by on me, and I won't have it. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, for what it is.
Would you recommend it?
Yes, I would. For people who like cilantro, yes.
Okay.
If you like cilantro, right up your alley. You like lime?
Okay.
It's good. It's light. You could really, like some of the ranch you put on, it's just a giant jar of mayonnaise. We all know the difference. And we could get in that fight too. Miracle Whip or mayonnaise. I got in that fight on Twitter. Yep. I was raised on Miracle Whip. I think people without any money went Miracle Whip. I didn't even know there was mayonnaise.
What?
I thought Miracle Whip was mayonnaise. I don't know. I'm serious.
No, it's oil.
Miracle Whip?
Oh my god.
Oh, wow. All right, so I didn't even say what I was tasting. Ranch, blasted dipping sauce, blazing hot. It's Hidden Valley. Since 1954. Well, at least this is older than me. That's something's older. That is really, really hot.
Okay.
I don't know. When the heat overtakes the product, I don't understand the product anymore.
Right.
Just saying. I don't know. Maybe it's for the children. Maybe the children like it.
It's all for the children.
Well, no, this isn't. This is for the adult with discerning taste.
Here's why you like Miracle Whip.
Why do I like Miracle Whip? It's all fat.
Yeah, third highest ingredient, high fructose corn syrup.
High fructose corn syrup. It's probably my favorite food. High fruit. If it says it on there, high fructose corn syrup, I'm gonna love it.
With dried garlic.
I forgot to shout out. I forgot to shout out to the Blue Healer Coffee Company. Left this backstage in Milwaukee, and I already grinded some beans. It's delicious. And then I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this out for my mom, so she quits stealing the things that I have, because I'll share it with her. And I'm a big fan of Blue Healer dogs. The neighbors have too, and occasionally they run through my house. I don't know what's going on, but they're crazy fun. But they don't stay long. That's why I don't mind. Like if I leave the front door, if I'm doing outside, they'll just whip through. They just want to see what's going on. Off they go. I mean, I don't really understand why they're out that much, but it's not my problem. Not my problem. Not my baby. Not my bathwater. All right. That's all the shout outs. I have a few termite things because of my birthday. I think it's Elisa or Eliza, faithful termite fellow Libra. Excellent. Sent a new Dolly candle. Nice. We don't need to light it just yet. And then Little Nas to brighten up the table. Little Nas is what? My mom's absolute favorite. After ZZ Top.
Okay.
And Bobby Lee. So that is that. Thank you, Eliza. I'm not going to light Dolly yet because that one's still going. I got a birthday card from Megan in Decatur, Alabama. And she sent me a nice little gift certificate, which I will, I'm going to probably, honestly, pass this on to my parents too.
Really?
Well, they like little treats. And then it's very thoughtful. And, they can go, to the Cheesecake Factory on the road. But it's great. Maybe I'll go with them. Yeah. It's very nice. Very thoughtful. Thank you, Megan from Decatur. I will see you in Huntsville as I've rescheduled, hoping the pandemic dies down by June 2022 so I can go to Alabama. Oh, a termite left this. Yeah. Thank you for keeping us laughing. Pubcast has made the week so enjoyable. Little swag. This is Lisa from Illinois. That's right. I am doing the Lord's work. Let's see what Lisa. Front Street Brewery. Oh, yeah. I remember this being back there. Yeah. Raging River Indian Pale Ale. I will put this in the fridge and try it next week.
Okay.
But I remember getting this backstage. Some stuff, it usually all makes it back there. It's just a matter of how and when if I can get it home. I'm muling liquor around. Like, if Delta caught on to me. If anybody from Delta is listening, please do not report me to the higher ups.
You declare? Nope.
No. They don't even ask, though. But I'm a million-mile flyer. I'm Delta. I'm elite. It's the only place in the world I'm elite is Delta. Another little birthday card from Tara. Shout out, Tara, from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which I'll be doing a show, I think at the casino. She'd rather I work at the Wind Creek Casino, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody, I think Lou is doing that. I try to check around. My parents are telling me what venues I should be working to. They'll be coming to the Sarasota show. My parents, if anybody's coming, their friends rented a party bus. They're coming on a bus.
Be funny.
I'm going to make my mom Instagram the bus. I don't think my dad will know how, but my mom knows how to film stuff. Yeah. My dad will have the iPad out like this. Everyone, please have attention to the front of... Kathleen would like a video for her Tiki Doc.
Yeah.
Her Facegram would love some videos. This is another little birthday shout out from Leslie in Norwalk, Connecticut. Very nice card. Just to let you know, I do get these things, you guys. I thank you. It's very nice too, because I think, what if I didn't have friends or family? Well, at least I'd have the termites. Okay, so that's a reminder. If you want to come to the Sarasota show, Jack and Vicky, I'm sure they'll be doing their own meet and greet. Maybe you can meet them in the lobby. You can meet my mom in the bathroom. That's where she sneaks around and listens to reviews of everybody. The opening act.
What does she do?
She goes in the bathroom and hides in a stall and listens to what people are saying.
Oh my God. Wow.
I'm like, Mom, if it's good, I'd just be happy. And if it's bad, I don't want to know.
Right.
And then my dad will go, don't you want to receive constructive criticism? No, not at this age. I can only do what I can do, and I've done it, and here it is, and I got nothing else in the tank, Jackalope. So, all right, moving on to the Queen news. Cher. Cher is suing the heirs of Sonny Bono over song and record revenue. Really? Cher has sued the former widow, former musical partner and ex-husband Sonny Bono for royalties over Sonny and Cher songs, included I Got You, Babe, and The Beat Goes On. I mean, how much? That's a shitload of money. Yeah. In a federal lawsuit on Wednesday, Cher alleges that former Rep. Mary Bono and other defendants have attempted to terminate provisions of business agreements between Cher and Sonny Bono reached when they divorced in 1975. Holy shit, we're going backwards. That entitled each to 50% of songwriting and recording royalties. That's fair. Yeah. What are they challenging? The lawsuit says that Sonny Bono's heirs filed notice in 2016 that they were terminating some of his song licensing agreement, but they did not terminate and could not have terminated his agreements with Cher. Exactly. Right. You can't do that. No. If you entered into the agreement with another partner, unless you have permission from the partner. Right. The breach of contract lawsuit alleges that the damages to Cher total at least $1 million. I bet they do.
Yeah. Especially for my God,
yeah. Well, how long has this shit been going on? The Copyright Act allows Sonny's widow and children to reclaim Sonny's copyrights from publishers, which is what they did, an attorney said in a statement. Representative Bono remains open to continuing a private discussion about that, but we are confident that if necessary, the court will affirm their position. I don't think they will. No. Cher, the 75, we know. They were married, he became the mayor of Palm Springs, and then we all know he skied into a tree and died. Yeah. Sad times for Sonny. Well, I hope she wins, because she should have 50% of that, and they can't go in and renegotiate shit But Sonny did a lot of bad things if you watch all those movies. Like, he was not fair to her. She had to fight. He was going to run with everything. Right. Like, he was a little, he wasn't real cool on all that. So I think that. And my other Queen news, if you care to listen, Dolly has recorded with Reba, Does He Love You?
No way.
Like You Be. It's the Reba song, which they sing it great. But the lyrics, I'm like, ladies, you don't both need to be fighting over this jackass. Like, you both know he's sleeping with someone else, and you're both like, but does he love you like he loves me? He doesn't love you a lot. No. He loves you some. That's lady, but that song was written a while ago. But it's fun to watch Dolly and Reba sing it. So if you want to check it out, it's free. You can just go put in your giggle machine. What to do, Dolly and Reba song together, and it'll come right. I think it's called Does He Love You? Yeah. Is that the name of it? Yeah. I don't know enough about Reba songs. I only know Fancy, because my dad one time had an employee, and I won't say who, but at the time I was on Last Comic Standing, and at the time Star Search was still kind of popular. What? Yeah. With Ed McMahon. Well, I think Ed was out. I forget who. I don't remember who was doing it. Whatever.
Brittany was on
and
Star Search.
One of my dad's employees recorded Fancy in her basement and wanted me to give the cassette of her singing Fancy to somebody. I go, wait, Dad, you want me to give a cassette to someone at Last Comic Standing, which is a comedy show, reality, and you want me to give it to somebody who knows somebody at Star Search? Right. That's yep. That's what I'm looking for. And I said, have we listened to Fancy? And I'm like, it wasn't horrible, but I'm not passing that around. I'm not putting my name on that. Call Kathleen. No. Anyway, that's all I got for the ladies this week. Update. Great. Did I surprise you? Yep. Did anybody's cat jump off their couch when I said that? This is crazy. Back to the potential Missouri cannibal that we talked about last week. James Phelps, approximately 30 minutes away from our farm. This man lived, maybe 35. Investigators say the home of alleged kidnapper James Phelps burnt to the ground Monday night.
What?
Yeah.
He was already arrested, though, right?
He's arrested. He's in jail. Multiple fire crews responded to the scene on Moon Valley Road in the Windyville area of Dallas County, Missouri. They worked to put out hotspots. According to a Fox affiliate, while out there, a Dallas County deputy found something that resembled a tripwire.
Oh.
Uh-huh. This guy had this whole... The Springfield Bomb Squad was sent to investigate. Authorities say they detonated an explosive device near the area of the fire. The home belongs to James Phelps, one of the two suspects charged with the kidnapping of the 33-year-old Cassidy Rainwater. Prosecutors also charged Timothy Norton in the case. They both appeared in court on Tuesday. The investigation into Rainwater's disappearance moved forward when the FBI got an anonymous tip. The reporting party said there was also a photo of her in a cage. Yeah, and now she's missing. Wow. Somehow he had this whole place set up to explode. I mean...
Well, probably in case somebody...
Right. He didn't want to get caught. Or he wanted to... If she wasn't dead yet...
Right.
I mean, this is pure speculation. Him and his buddy are in the Dallas County Jail without bond. Wow. They better... The search of the property, agents took items from the investigation. But, you know, I think the whole idea was they'll burn it down, and then there's no...
Evidence.
Well, he thinks there won't be any evidence, but
I can't imagine
they'll find enough.
what the Springfield Bomb Squad...
The Springfield, Missouri Bomb Squad? Well, I'm sure there's some dogs. They probably have more dogs than guys, girl, women, whatever, people, just because Springfield's not that big. It's not tiny, but it's not really what you... Update! Oh, my God. I don't know why I'm obsessed with expensive art. I own none. I would never spend my money on it. I think I'm just mind blown that people... There must be enough... It's just ego, you know, to win the winning bid, I guess. I don't know. Anytime I've bid on stuff at auctions, I get scared and quit. I don't have the grit for that. Plus, what am I doing when I know I could buy it at this, you know, whatever, it's some vacation or some shit. Yeah. Oh, I don't think I had the paint. Okay, so the Banksy one, the one that partially destructed, or it went through the girl with the balloon. Yep. It sold for $25.4 million. God, wow. Yep. Wow. First time it sold for $1 million. Then it shredded. Right. Mm-hmm.
Shred the whole way, right?
No, only half of it shredded. Because they think the thing broke. He had planned on shredding the whole thing. So they say. That's one story. Yeah. It was sold for $1.4 million last time. Wow. It remains half shredded in its frame, which it concealed mechanism to auto-destroy after the hammer dropped at the original sale. Somebody had $25.4 million. And then I just go, what? So what now? Right. You own it? Right. Go for you. As Rocky Laporte would say. Go for you. Wow. But what do you invite your friends over? I don't even have those kind of friends. Hey, Ron.
You want some shredded art?
No, but I want to turn the cowboy game on. I mean, I can't even imagine anybody. And then I wouldn't want anybody I know around it.
Right.
You know, do I want my brother and his 3 kids? And no, you'd have to put it up really high. Yeah. It's like dog or child proofing the house. Everything has to be high and locked.
Yeah. Wow. No thanks.
Okay, wait. There was one more. This is the Banksy one that it's the same thing. 25 million. Good to know. Update of your favorite story, Paddles.
No.
It's not. I'm not stopping until the trial's over and we've reached a decision.
Well, then.
Thank you. The 5th week of the trial of Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, brought another. Here's what we've learned.
She's a sociopath.
Yeah, we definitely think she's a sociopath. Yeah, for sure.
So just tell us what happens when it's
Well,
over.
that's what I forgot. You know what? Let me backtrack 1 minute before I go to Elizabeth Holmes. Speaking of sociopaths.
Okay.
Well, because I always forget to say what I was watching because then I go on the road and I forget what I'm watching. Like, I'm super duper excited Succession is starting again. I love Brian Cox. I think Brian Cox is my favorite actor in the entire world.
Yeah.
And I believe he's from Scotland? Yeah. Good giggle it. I think he's Scottish.
I think he's Scottish.
I want to say he's from Dundee, Scotland. And I've been there on a way to a golf course. And if you can, it's an industrial town. Let's put it that way.
He worked for the Royal Shakespeare.
Is he from Dundee?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because you love him.
I do. I love him.
love
I love his voice. I love that he takes weird roles. He's older. He doesn't even sound Scottish in this movie. I mean, he sounds completely American. He's just wonderful. But anyway, speaking of sociopaths, so there's on Netflix right now. It's called Monsters Inside, and it's about this guy Billy Milligan and the 24 personalities of Billy Milligan. But I also remember, and once again, I am not a professional anything. Okay, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm a lady drinking an Outboard beer from Milwaukee and eating cilantro ranch on crackers. So the multiple personality thing diagnosis was super duper popular in the 70s. Right. My mom and dad used to talk about it all the time because Sybil, the movie came out, the book, remember? And that was it, like, and then it was a joke for a while. I remember, like, if my parents did something fucked up, they'd go, "Well, that was Charlotte that did that, not me." Oh, it was. They thought it was so funny, right? But I remember it being a thing, that diagnosis, and this happened in the 70s. And I don't know, I've thought from the beginning, this guy's full of shit. Like, I think he's a sociopath who could, I could slip into an accent right now if you want me to.
That's a terrible accent.
Why? It's Adele's. It's South London. It's South London.
Oh my God.
I guess. I don't even know. I'm just saying, if you want me to be a Southern person, I can do that. I can do it easily enough that if you didn't know me, you wouldn't know. Okay? I think this guy just happened to be able to do that. Then he said he could write in Arabic, but then they found an Arab guy who was in the psych ward who's like, nah, he kind of asked me to write all that shit. He didn't write it. He kept saying his personalities had talents that would be inexplicable from a man raised in the United States, from Columbus, Ohio, who had never traveled, and he raped a bunch of people. And it seems like from watching,
he raped a bunch of people.
That's why he got arrested initially, because he raped people, and then he blamed it on his other personalities, and then he probably most definitely killed 2 more people because they put him in. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and then But you have to watch it. I mean, it is something else, this show, because it goes on for years. I mean, then he moves. I mean, a bunch. Well, he just goes.
What about prison?
He never went to prison. He got out of the psych ward after a while. They said he was good enough to assimilate, that he was getting better. But he was having sex with people in there. Like, everything about it. I think the 70s went a little apeshit, and then you get some of the doctor people that are more interested in writing a book about the guy and getting fame and money, so then that gets all entwined. It was a very, very good show on Netflix. I would recommend it. Okay. It's bizarre. The 70s, I just can't. I don't know what was going on. But that's the big cult time, 60s and 70s. Cults, multiple personalities, possession, The Exorcist. Yeah, like...
LSD.
Yeah, a lot of LSD, according to per Lewis. My parents weren't those.
LCDs.
My parents weren't those. LSD. Right. LCDs were coming out in Asia, not here. The other thing I've started in their individual episodes called Bad Sport. Bad Sports. Netflix also. I watched the one about figure skating. It's the reason I love figure skating. It's all so much drama.
Oh, the Canadians.
There's so much crying. And, and the judging is so random. I can't get enough of it. But, yeah, these Canadians in 1976. I don't know. No, 86?
More.
What?
In the 90s.
What year
Salt
was
Lake.
it? Oh, right, it was Salt Lake, 98. I'm thinking of Caitlyn Jenner in Montreal, 76. Yeah, the Olympics that Mittens Romney saved for Salt Lake. The Canadians got totally ripped off in the pairs ice skating, but it's the whole story of how the Russians.
2002.
Oh God, it was 2002.
That was Jamie and David.
Jamie and David. Why don't I remember that? I must have been working a lot.
It's all Canadians could talk.
I remember. Yeah, but I watch all. I don't care if the Americans are. I mean, I'm all in just for the skating. I don't know. I must have been working a lot or something.
They were in love.
They got ripped off, and they gave the goal. It's just good. It's cheating, and the French judge kind of admitted, all right,
Fucked you.
I think the French were hoping, they made a deal with the Russians, we'll switch votes. You give us first in ice dancing, because the French they want to be the ice dancers, because it's more romantic. Just a flair about it.
They can't flip.
Well,
They don't throw each other.
why would you throw your lover? They don't see it like that. God damn it. But the French promised the Russians, we'll vote for you in regular pairs ice skating if you vote for our Frenchies in ice dancing. And I don't think the French person thought that the Canadians would be perfect. There was nothing you could explain it to. They did not miss. I've never seen something that perfect, really, ever. I didn't see it the first time.
What?
Well, I was working. God. 2002, did we have TiVo? I don't even know what I had to record shit. Yeah, well, VHS? I don't know. Nothing. I had to go to work. You just missed shit. That's how it went. You just missed it.
Unacceptable.
Anyway.
They were the face of Tim Hortons for like 5 years.
They were the face of Tim Hortons, the two Canadians. Well, they ended up getting the gold. I mean, I don't want to blow the whole story, but Lewis also said...
People watched it and they already know they got the gold.
Oh, okay. I guess everybody knows that. It's like the Geico lady. I love that lady in that commercial. She just goes, everybody knows that. So dismissive. Lewis also said on the Bad Sports one, there's one about point shaving and basketball that was super duper good. I haven't had time because I'm involved in fantasy football. And that took up a lot of my time. I finally won a game. Yeah, I sure did.
Who's your quarterback?
I have a lot of quarterbacks. But our league, I can't explain our league. It's too difficult because normal people will look at it and go, wait, you can have, it's a flex league. Everything's flexible. Nothing's certain.
You can play all quarterbacks.
Who, somebody is calling. Oh, it was Lewis. I don't need to talk to him. Update! I had to backtrack because I always forget to say what I'm watching. And I'm still listening to the Theranos podcast and the Murdoch Murders, which, I mean, that just every week, I don't even know how she can keep up because the batshit shit that's going on out there with that family and him and I mean, I don't even think drugs can make you do what he did. Like, I know opioid addicts. They're not doing shit like this. This is, who knows where the bottom, it's going to be a long way till we hit bottom on that one. Anyway, those are 2 podcast recommendations. So the 5th week, here's what we've learned. Another powerful figure swept up in the Holmes orbit took the stand. This is the guy, the CEO of Safeway, the grocery stores, because they were going to use it and they did not. Smart. He went through and he compared He thought she was wonderful. Safeway partnership never even got off the ground, despite the grocery store chain investing millions in the effort.
He didn't think she was wonderful. He thought she was hot.
No, he said there are very few people I've met in business that I would actually say were charismatic. She was clearly charismatic. She was very smart, or she made you believe she was very smart. Yeah. He's the second big witness to take the stand. Witnesses stressed that Holmes was ultimately in charge. That's a big deal because she's going to try to blame it all on Sonny Bunny. And Sonny Bunny, Balwani, ain't going to be having any of that. They all said it was her. That was a big thing. A second juror was excused from the case. Well, I mean, you can't, I don't know. I don't like the way juries are selected. I don't feel that if shit went haywire, you say it's a jury of my peers. Really? Well, I'd like to speak to them. Maybe they're not. I think they should use retired judges and lawyers, like use my dad, because they know the law. They're not going to get emotionally wrapped up in it, and they're retired. If you told my dad you're going to be in a pool and we're going to call you on random days, well, when they're not in Florida, I can't interrupt his golf. He would do it. I think he'd like it. And I would feel more confident if I'm the accused that I've got 12 people that know the law and they're not going to respond on emotional bullshit unless you're guilty and I want to trick them. You know, depends on what's happening. But second juror was excused from the case. And then the Walgreens person, because here's what's crazy about her little blood testing machine that was empty. I mean, you got to give her credit for getting as far as she did, but it's also the mark of a sociopath when you're not thinking of the end. Right. It's like Casey Anthony taking those people to Universal Studios saying, I work here, and she didn't, and then took them on property, and then walking down hallways, and they're like, where's your office? And then finally she just turned around and goes, okay, I don't work here. Never did.
What does it matter?
Wow. Yeah. Former CEO of Walgreens took the stand for his first full day of testimony. He said he was impressed with the company, and Walgreens poured $140 million into the venture. So, yeah, $40 million, which could be converted to equity. They used them, and then the complaints started coming. He thought the blood would be tested on the Theranos device. My understanding that this was a base level testing would be able to do 96% of the testing done at labs. He said he did not have knowledge that Theranos would be running tests on modified third-party devices, as prosecutors allege. It's not even alleged. They have proof that they were just sending it out and using other things. It didn't work. And said that any standard use third-party devices would be for calibration and accuracy purposes. So, yeah. Anyway, the Walgreens guy was like, yeah, I thought it was fine, and it was bullshit, and... Yeah, they all thought that. Yeah.
Come on, let's just say it how it is.
Yeah. But I don't know how you could think somebody who has a fake voice is hot. All I could think is you're crazy. You're a crazy person, and I want to run away from you. Run. Not walk away from you, run away from you, because I know at the end of the day you're smarter than me, and I will be tricked. God. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
We're moving on to news.
Great.
That's all the updates. We're moving on. Okay, even I can't go this far. Speaking of Wisconsin, they're putting candy corn in Bratwurst for Halloween.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well,
Is it good?
it's in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm heading to Green Bay.
Maybe you'll go see it.
And Minneapolis. I'm coming your way this weekend. You can come see me at the State Theatre. And in Green Bay, I forget the Meyer Theater. The Meyer, yeah. Thursday night. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Candy corn. Oh.
Two butchers in Madison based Jennifer Street Market have done the unthinkable, marrying the super sugary orange, yellow, and candy corn with their bratwurst. You know what I'd like to do? Lewis hates candy corn. He has a whole thing in his act about how much he hates it, like with a passion, the way I hate cilantro.
Yeah.
I would like to... I should
have.
have bought, maybe I'll buy some in Green Bay if I can find them. And then I'm going to cook them and feed them to him and not tell him.
What? Come on.
Yeah, just to see if he notices.
You can't do that.
Why? It's a surprisingly popular seasonal treat rather than a goofy trick. A lot of people like it. It's just your traditional brat, but we use Oktoberfest beer in there, so there's caramel sweetness. We usually make the traditional brat, and we thought we should change it up with candy corn. Madison, have you guys tasted it? Anybody? I didn't see it in Milwaukee. That's what's happening up there.
Only one place that does it. We'll put it in the show notes.
All right, here's just a little of girl bitchiness. Well, I shouldn't say that because then you're going to say, well, let's just say this is bitchy. Paul McCartney. Here's the thing. I remember in college people fighting over who had the real talent, John Lennon or Paul McCartney. I always said John Lennon, but I'm not a Beatles person, so I really shouldn't even be weighing in, right? Because those people are very serious about it. It's like getting into a fight about sports and you don't really care about the teams. You should stay out of it. I should stay out of it, but in the latest installment of a rivalry between the two biggest, here's why I thought too. John Lennon didn't write this. I don't know. I feel like Paul McCartney was, I want to hold your catchy, poppy. I thought John Lennon's was a little deeper.
Right. It was sad.
I've only bought one Beatles album in my whole life. I don't know. Not my thing.
You're a Fleetwood Mac person.
I'm a Fleetwood Mac person. I'm a 70s baby.
You are.
I like the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, baby.
But I don't know. The Beatles just, by the time I really paid it, but Paul McCartney and Wings, no. Band on the run. Band on the run. Beatles legend Paul McCartney has dubbed the Rolling Stones a blues cover band.
Okay.
Well, they do. I mean, the Rolling Stones do say we've got our influence from blues, but I wouldn't call them a blues cover band. That is really, he's promoting a new book. I also think Paul likes Paul more than anybody on earth. We hear a lot from Paul about Paul. You don't hear Mick Jagger doing that shit. Now he's right now.
He's in dive bars.
Yeah, Mick Jagger, by the way, if you care, he is out doing shit. He was in somewhere, I think it was Charlotte. He went to just a regular, like, swig and swine, like a barbecued beer joint. He's just standing there by himself drinking beer. But I also think some of the people are so young, they probably don't. They're like, hey, Papa, need another beer? Because, like, even if I go out with Ron, the people under 30 don't know who Ron is. He's just a gray-haired, tall, big dude. But in Nashville, he went down. Mick Jagger recently, he crashed a bachelorette party. He went and sang.
in Nashville.
Yeah, in Nashville, he went into Printer's Alley, which is the coolest place, like, just for fun bars and music. And there's funk down there too. It's not all country. And Mick Jagger went and sang karaoke. Yeah, he's going out. I think maybe they're thinking, if they're winding it down, how many more stadium tours do you have in you? I mean, hopefully, if they want to, more, but you may not. So go out, go do shit. They retired Brown Sugar. Yeah, I didn't really know the lyrics to that. Upon reading them, I'm like, how have they been singing this whole time? Jesus Christ. But anyway, I think our net was cast a bit wider than theirs at times, McCartney said. This isn't the first time he's made unfavorable comparisons between him and them. He said the Beatles were better on Howard Stern.
Oh, come on.
If I get a ticket, who am I going to? Rolling Stones. Beatles or Rolling Stones? Who would you go to? Rolling Stones.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
I'd go see Post Malone.
Post Malone. Yeah, I like some of his songs.
Yeah.
And I think he's sponsored by Budweiser. So they at least have good beer there. Well, my beer. I don't know what it's good. I think Paul, I don't know. I like the way the Stones carry themselves as far as being legends, but they're not up in your grill. Like, I feel like he's always somewhere talking about Paul. Now, please don't send me hate mail. I don't care enough about either one of those bands. If it's about Fleetwood Mac, then I have to really get in the mud, and I'll go at it. But these two, I don't really care either way. I've never seen either one in concert, so never probably will, unless somebody wants to take me to the Rolling Stones. Then I'll go with you. This is crazy. We all know I have a lot of crazy animal stuff too. But first of all, you know how I do not like Mark, as I call him, Fuckerberg, Facebook permanently banned a developer after he made an app to let users delete their news feed. Now, see, that would be great. Because if you have people like my brothers and sisters that have little kids that have to get on these Facebook pages, but they don't want to be assaulted with the news feed, but they have to go on the pages to find out, so-and-so has practice at 7 o'clock on field 47. This person did it. The developer, Louis Barclay, made a tool called Unfollow Everything for Facebook users. The extension removed Facebook users' news feed by mass unfollowing pages. Barclay said he got a cease and desist letter from Facebook and was kicked off its platform.
Oh, wow.
They don't want you to delete the news feed. They don't even want you to have the option.
That's how they make money.
Yeah, he got kicked off the tech giant's platform. He's a developer in the UK as a creator. He published Unfollow Everything on the Google Chrome store in July 2020 and said it attracted attention from researchers at the University of something in Switzerland who wanted to study the impact of having no news feed on people's happiness on Facebook. People will be a lot happier.
I agree.
A lot happier.
Totally.
As well as the amount of time they spend on the platform. Yeah. It also said Facebook's terms prohibited interfering with the intended operation of Facebook. Well, what is the intended operation, Mark? I thought it was to bring people together. Bring the whole world together. The news is dividing everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
In America.
I think everywhere. Oh, you see the people in Australia, Canada, everybody's got each side's got their thing. All right, it's time. This is an animal thing. Well, I don't know. A lot happened with crazy things.
Okay.
Termites, you have to Google this. If you've never seen a picture of an alligator gar, Google it. They're like the Ozarks has them. I've seen them. They are horrifying. It looks like a fucking. I put a video up once of me, my mom, the twin girls. I think it was me, my mom, the girls. Oh, and my sister, and then my dad was somewhere on the dock, and we were just crappie fishing, and the pole bent like something I've never seen. And Claire or one of the kids started reeling it up, and it was like a goddamn monster from a movie. Everybody, they threw a pole in. We just abandoned. My dad's down on the end of the dock going, Jesus Christ, we're losing all the equipment. Settle down, ladies. Settle. I go, you didn't see it. You didn't see it. It's a monster. For the first time ever, one was caught in Kansas. This is what I'm talking about. Now, yeah, they're saying maybe somebody put it in there. Nobody's traveling with an alligator gar. It's not like you went and bought a baby python from the pet store and didn't realize it was going to grow to be 26 feet long and need to eat a dog every fucking month.
Right.
Alligator gars are a unique species of fish, and they are often referred to as living fossils. This because fossil records for animals have been discovered dating back almost 100 million years. The fish is usually found in areas like southwestern Ohio, parts of Missouri, and Illinois. The fish had not been found, however, in the state of Kansas, that is, until now. While other species of gar, here's the problem with gar, too. If you like to crappie fish or fish for whatever you want to call them, brim, some bluegill, some fish, the gar will mess up everything. And then you can't just fish normally because they bite the line. You'd have to put these lead leads on. It's not what you think of for crappie. They ruin shit. Right. It's not a good thing. You don't want them in your area. While other species of gar are native to Kansas, alligator gar do not typically live in the area. According to a press release by the Kansas Department of Wildlife, state biologists are now researching how an alligator gar ended up in the state's Neosho River. We're confident that the information from the angler is accurate and the fish was, in fact, caught from the river. Right. Nobody's going through all that because I'm probably the only person in the world that gives a shit about an alligator gar.
Probably.
However, it doesn't mean the fish originated from the river. Nobody's traveling with that in a fish cooler. No. Why? Why would you do that?
No.
And you're not trying to get rid of one. People don't have alligator gars in freshwater tanks in their house. No. The possibility that it was dumped in the water. It's not unlikely that this fish was somebody's pet. No. Nobody has a pet alligator gar.
No.
Or purchased from a pet store. No. They're not even I've never seen one in a pet store. And simply released in the once it became too large. Anyway, I'm just telling you, there's things migrating to places where they shouldn't be, And I think it's part of the changes in weather, and that's how you start a bar fight. If you want to get in a bar argument, you talking about global warming? It's fucking hot out. Okay. Here's another sad thing. Leprosy seen in wild chimps for the first time.
Oh.
I know. It's really sad because they have the spots all over them, and the face nodules and lesions, and they don't know how to get them antibiotics.
How did they get it?
I don't know. It comes from humans. I mean, we're somehow us. Yeah. They're saying it. It can lead to the loss of sensation in the limbs and blindness. They've been seen in wild animals before, such as red squirrels in the UK and armadillos in America. Oh, as if armadillos aren't ugly enough.
Right. We're going to give them leprosy.
But it was quite shocking to see leprosy suddenly turn up in chimps because they're so well researched. Treating leprosy in humans is relatively straightforward, especially if it's diagnosed early enough. But for animals that aren't habituated to humans, such as these populations, it's very difficult to administer antibiotics. There are constraints to treating animals for leprosy, and we have to consider the ethical implications of darting chimpanzees. So, well, if I was a chimp, I'd rather have a dart of antibiotics than walk around and lose my limbs.
Agreed.
I mean, I don't think it's complicated.
No.
Shoot a dart of antibiotics at them. Okay. It's going to be way better than what's going to happen if you don't. For the chimp.
Yeah. That's sad.
Here's a reason to kill yourself.
Okay, what? Whoa. Whoa. Have a drink of beer.
More than 90 rattlesnakes found our California home. Okay? If this isn't... And I know there's snake people out there. And I know my friend Kevin, my friend Tony. You know, you don't understand all the good snakes, do you? Don't understand. You know what? I probably don't. All I know is I'm terrified of them.
Yeah, all of them.
And when they get in groups, balls, like they come out of, they hibernate in balls together. And then when they come out of their holes, they'll be all wound together like in a ball, like a ball of rubber bands. That just, yeah.
Gross.
More than 90 snakes were found on our California home. I got a call from somebody that they had snakes under their house. 3 hours and 45 minutes. This is what I came out with. Sonoma County Reptile Rescue shared on Facebook earlier this month. What would you do? The man who recovered the snake asked. Move. Let your house out of the state to a state where I think there's rattlesnakes. Go ahead, light it on fire. One will live. No. Burning it? No. I know normal people. This happens in Texas occasionally. And they go get them all. But for how long? Till one comes.
Dark. I mean, all this is dark.
Well, I'm just saying it was a crazy thing. That's why.
God.
Yeah, I would leave the country.
Okay. No, you would not.
59 babies and 22 adults. Some of them you can go up and pet. Some you can't. No, I'm never going to pet anybody's rattlesnake. Yeah, just another little piece of news. California people don't think about rattlesnakes in California. They're out there. Even in, like, the valley. Be careful. And then just one more thing. Okay. This is crazy. In Mississippi, and she got a picture of it. This lady deserves a lot of credit because she's afraid of snakes.
Yep.
She found a blonde rattlesnake with rare... It's blonde. Its pigmentation is off. A Mississippi woman was picking berries in the woods. Who does that?
What kind of berries are in Mississippi?
In Mississippi, I don't know. Well, Mississippi can get kind of swampy. You know, I don't know. Probably good stuff. I don't know. She came across a poisonous snake so rare that there aren't even any statistics on it. Now the blonde timber rattlesnake is safe in captivity, and soon the public will be able to see it. Me and my friend Matt and my twins were collecting muscadines. What's that? She was going to make muscadine jelly. Her name's Danielle.
Oh, they make wine out of it there.
What's muscadine?
They make wine out of it there.
But what is it? It's a berry.
You want the Latin name?
No. I don't want the Latin name. I didn't pay attention.
Growth range extends from Florida to the New Jersey coast
Oh,
and west to eastern
never heard of it.
Texas.
She said, I don't do well with snakes. I'm scared of them. One of my twins is fearless, so I went into mom mode to get him away from this. She grabbed and then grabbed his adventurous 4-year-old daughter and jumped into the nearby utility vehicle. Me too. The other girl was scared and already inside. They said the blonde snake was unlike anything she'd ever seen and decided to photograph it, although she could barely hold her phone in place due to its tremors. What? They wrote that wrong. They mean her tremors. I mean, she was shaking. Right. She's so scared. She said the photos were sent to a herpetologist who explained it was very rare. When she realized what an unusual encounter she was involved with, the animal began to... What? I don't know. I spent all night Saturday chatting with my dad about what was best for the snake. It's not like a normal snake. I didn't want him to die.
She took it.
No.
Yeah, or she wouldn't be wondering.
They went out and searched for it. No. They called the wildlife people, which you should. They reported the snake. The staff came the next afternoon to find it, to no avail. After making sure he was still in the area, Ladner and his father continued the search, and within minutes he located it, and the agency staff returned to pick him up. So he did it the right way. The snake has 2 possibilities of genetic condition. It doesn't even matter. It's an absolutely rare thing. Several thousand babies would be born before a single one appeared. The odds are 1 in several thousand, but they decrease because the snake does not wear camouflage like its normal siblings and is more susceptible to predators. Yeah, it's going to get eaten. It's amazing this one lived to be an adult. He's very docile. He's in the Mississippi Museum of Natural Science in Jackson. He received a warm welcome. Oh, yes, great. He's very docile. Since he's been here, he hasn't trembled once. He's very curious, and he watches what we're doing. I'm already in love. You got to see it, though. Put it in the show notes. It's a crazy picture. It caught my eye. That's why I did the story. Okay?
Muscadines are one of 4 primary grape species.
It's a grape? Muscadine?
Yep.
Never heard of it.
Species. Yep.
Wow.
It's for shitty wine.
Don't you say shitty wine. Maybe those people in Mississippi like it. I like the idea of this. An entire town in a historic Tennessee region is up for grabs. And I Googled it. It's about an hour 20 from Nashville. So you're not too far away from civilization, but far enough. Water Valley was built around 1900 and sits on 7 acres of land. Water Valley. It's all for $725,000. My biggest question is, there's a creek out there. I'd want to know how far away that creek was, because I don't want all my shit washing away the first time there's a flood, because Tennessee don't do good with the flooding. Ever wanted to own an entire town? May sound like the premise of Schitt's Creek, but there's a real town in Tennessee that's currently up for grabs. It was built around 1900. There's an original barn, 4 general stores, and a 3-bedroom, 3-bath residence waiting for someone to call it home. Now, you're going to need a lot of the HGTV people to help you, because I looked it up. Going to need quite a few repairs. Like, it's going to be like a million trips to Lowe's. According to the realtor, Krista Schwartz, the 4 owners she represents have already had interest from Los Angeles. We've had a couple calls from Hollywood asking if they might be able to buy the whole town to use as a movie set. But they're hoping Water Valley will stay true to its Tennessee history. Just how much would the buyer need to shell out? $725,000. That's less than the median price of a single-family home in the state of California. I think it's very much a steal for someone who has the money to invest and to make it what it should be. This is an incredible bargain. I agree. If you were retired, and because it's going to take a lot of time, and you have to have the patience, because that's what, if you're trying to have kids and jobs and nobody, your patience, mine would run out real quick, like day 4. Okay. If you were retired, though, and you wanted to take your 700, and then you had another 700, say, to fix it up, it'd be kind of cool. And then you know what I would do? I would get a horse, and I would get a sheriff badge, and I would ride around my own town. Probably with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Just yelling at my siblings, nieces and nephews, whomever. All right, I'm going to try to explain this one because it's a little hard. You got this. Sometimes we have thinking cap stories, but it matters to me, and it should matter to everyone. Okay. If you pay taxes in a city. Okay. And I don't really understand a lot of it. This is why I didn't finish. Well, I mean, I did finish college, and I finished journalism school, but I didn't finish strong. Let's put it that way. I finished, but whoo. So, and I usually don't like to get into sports too much, but
people like it that you like sports.
Well, I do like sports, but this is more about what happens with the NFL. And we all know about John Gruden's emails, and I don't need to go into all that. But I also wonder who received these emails. I think it's the guy from the Washington Football Club, but I'm going to get into that one for next week because we can all say what we want about John Gruden. Right. But for years, somebody's receiving this shit, and nobody's going, hey, somebody better tell fucknut out there to pipe down with the everything. Right. So St. Louis got an NFL team, and this could happen to any of you out there. Jacksonville could happen to you. Anybody who's not a major market, and basically that means Chicago, New York, or L.A. Are you shitting on Cincinnati? Oh, Cincinnati, it could happen. They could possibly be next. Because if you don't, the owners want to be in these primo markets, and if you're an old school market like St. Louis or Cincinnati or wherever, Detroit, they don't see you as the future, and they don't see you as having enough money. But St. Louis, we went along to meet the demands of the NFL, and then in the middle of the night, they made a little agreement, and they all ran away to Los Angeles. The people, and my cousins were some of them, who bought personal seat licenses, because back in the day, you still have to, and now they're crazy amounts of money. I know 2 bartenders in Vegas that saved all their money to buy Raiders ones. I'm like, oh my God, what are you guys going to do? How are you ever going to make that back? Just to be able to buy the ticket, PSL, if you don't know what's for personal seat license. It's such horse shit. It's unbelievable. And everybody accepts it now. Right. You know, we all got conditioned. But you should explain what a PSL is. A PSL means you've bought the right to buy tickets to 2 seats, whatever seats you choose, or 4 seats, however many, meaning those are your seats. Right. And then, but you still have to buy the ticket that week. Right. You just got the right to buy it first. Right. And then if you don't buy it, it won't go sold. They won't sell it to someone else. But first of all the people in St. Louis had to sue to get their PSL money back. And it was a class action thing, like my cousins and all that. Because wait, I give you $4,000, whatever it was in St. Louis, $4 or $5,000 per seat. So take my cousin. Basically, he spent $10,000, and then you leave? Right. Well, they offered him, you could buy it in L.A. Well, nobody in St. Louis is flying to Los Angeles for a home game. We don't have that kind of money. Like, oh, I got to catch my private jet to flipping LAX. You wouldn't even fly in there. But the way they moved, and we gave them so many concessions. This is where so many towns. And I will argue to the end of the day that people say, oh, well, you know, if you get the thing downtown, everybody will move down there. And no, they won't. Right. No. Go St. Louis, Busch Stadium, the new stadium, it's great. And just right around there, it's great. Right. But if there ain't a game, forget it. And I could go city by city by city and show you that is not normally the case. Right. There might be some exceptions. But it's all a bait and switch. I think it's horseshit. Lawyers representing the NFL, the Los Angeles Rams, and team owner Stan Kroenke filed an appeal to move they want their trial, because they're going to go on trial, and they want it moved out of St. Louis. No, bitches. Right. You're staying. I bet you do want it moved out. You probably want it moved out of way, way far away from Missouri, because we're the ones that have the complaint. Right. It's a pivotal fight. St. Louis officials are seeking financial damages they claim they suffered when the Rams moved to Los Angeles. The move left St. Louis with debt on the team's former stadium, which was built with public funds. That was our money. Right. I wouldn't have agreed to it. I think some city, instead of saying sports is our ticket, become the education city. Have the best high schools, best grade schools in the nation, and every minivan driving parent will try to figure out how to get there. Be the education town. Forget sports. I mean, I love sports, but this doesn't pan out. A judge in August already denied a Rams request for a change of venue. The sensitive documents about the NFL finances could become public during the trial, which has already been posted. Here's what they don't want. The little caboodle of Jerry Jones and Stan Kroenke and all those guys, and they lost the argument already since this was printed. They're going to have to show their financial records, or they can give us a team or $1 billion. Those are your choices, guys. Wait, what? Because the trial's going to keep going, that they illegally moved the team. Right. which they did, in my opinion. So to stop this lawsuit, you're going to need to make a deal with us.
Right.
And whether that's giving us an expansion team or $1 billion, because they're saying it's like $1 billion in lost revenue. Yep. Wow. Well, think of how many years it's been. Right. Wow. I mean, this is the St. Louis Regional Convention and Sports Complex Authority, City of St. Louis, and the County of St. Louis claimed that the NFL didn't honor its relocation policy and hold good faith negotiations to prevent the Rams' departure. They did not. Right. Kroenke called Jones, and they're all part of it. The suit claims that Kroenke and Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones allegedly conspired to develop a plan to relocate the Rams to Los Angeles and convincing other member teams to approve the relocation. That's exactly what I think happened. The suit also alleges that Kroenke, and he's from Missouri. If that doesn't make you want to... The suit also alleges that Kroenke and Jones discussed SoFi Stadium plans in Inglewood, California as far back as 2013. So they knew this was happening. Right. City officials blame the NFL and its owners for lost revenue. Documents about the NFL owners' finances could become public. Attorneys for officials... And Kroenke, I mean, he owns he has the Denver Nuggets, he has the Colorado Avalanche, he has things in Europe. I think it's the
Manchester United.
I think it's Manchester United. Wow. Yeah. The lawsuit alleges Rams officials lied to the public about the team's intent to stay following rumors about a possible return to LA. The Rams had already played there, we know all that. Blah blah blah. In St. Louis, discussions for a new stadium failed because we thought they were leaving. He married a Walmart. I know. Now he thinks he's really cool.
Right. King of Arkansas.
Because his money wasn't enough. No. Then they found out he had already bought land in Inglewood, and it was right by the airport. I saw you could fly over it and see the land that he bought. You went, oh, I get what he's doing. Mm-hmm. So, the team then notified St. Louis officials that it would switch its lease to play option at the Edward Jones. I don't need to get into it more boring, but they're going to get their ass handed to them, and I kind of can't wait. Because I've heard rumors... And I'm not going to say which cities, because I'm not going to say who told me these things. But there's a couple other cities on the chopping block. And it's going to break my heart. I'm not saying. I can't say.
You know?
I don't know it for a fact, but I've been told this is the rumors. I mean, I think you could look at the NFL and say, which cities do you think that they would be willing to sacrifice to move one maybe to perhaps Austin? They're looking for new, shiny. Where's the money? Follow the money. Follow the money. And that's okay if you give the city the proper notice and you give the city all the information and say, do you want to be in business with us? And here's what's going to happen. We can't promise you we'll stay. We can't promise you anything. Right. You still want it? But they lie. And they conspire like a little cabal. It's all the same guys. The city has the NSL by the throat. It's just great. Last week, the Missouri Supreme Court declined to grant a last-ditch effort to reprieve the St. Louis and Rams owner Stan Kroenke, choosing not to intervene in the lawsuit against them in the St. Louis Circuit Court. Kroenke and 4 other teams' owners, Robert Kraft, he's in on it. Right. Yeah. The former Panthers owner, I don't know, this guy Jerry Richardson, I don't know who that. They must now turn over 3 years worth of financial records or pay fines up to $1,000 a day. Oh my God. Yeah. Wow. They're being sued by an array of St. Louis area government entities over Kroenke being permitted to move the team after the 2000 football team, which they didn't do it the correct way. Blah, blah, blah. The case is set for January. They have nowhere to turn. There's no federal question. No federal courts are going to intervene. The case will be settled or it will be tried in January. If I had to predict what was going to happen, I would think the NFL is going to want to not have all their dirty laundry aired. Not everyone's looking through, not have everyone looking through all their stuff. They'll try and offer an expansion team or something to make everybody happy. Wow. I think the city has the NFL by the throat with punitive damages. She said St. Louis would have no difficulty making the case for a payment of $1 billion or more. Fine.
That's crazy cool.
Give us the $1 billion.
Yeah.
And we'll create the greatest schools in the United States. That's what matters to parents. They all care about schools. Great. Let's be the education city. Yeah. Paddles don't like my idea.
Well, yeah, I just don't think it's logical. I think people are going to want a sports team.
Well, what's wrong with minor league? They don't really have minor league football. We have the St. Louis Battlehawks. Come on, that's coming back, right? The indoor league.
Who cares? What a dumb
This thing's been going on since 2011. She said this thing's been going on since 2011. She said of Cronky's behind the scenes bullshit. It's like Game of Thrones. It's only going to get better. You got to stay with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think they should pay. I just think, $1 billion. They're not going to put it in schools. That would be smart.
If you gave it to the city of St. Louis, I don't know what they would do with it. I'm just saying, it's an idea. Okay, it's just an idea.
You should go run for mayor.
Well,
You'd be a good mayor.
I have ideas for all kinds of cities.
Okay.
Like I think Detroit should become like New Orleans is known for jazz and music. Like, why isn't Detroit playing up the Motown thing? And it doesn't have to just be Motown music. But I know for a fact all those bands are on the road. Yeah. The old ones that now it's like their grandkids, but who cares? They play the songs. It's fun. Yeah. And then all those people that still live in Detroit.
I know.
The Kid Rock still is up there. So he'd open a theater. So you could have, it doesn't have to just be Motown, but you make it Motown Music City. Yeah. And, cool. Or, Aretha could have a Frank, I know she's not here, but she could, Anita Baker, all the Detroit people put their name on something like they do in other places. And, like they do in Nashville with the bars. Jason Aldean ain't in there every night. But, you get the idea.
But Brian said he is.
You just got to make it a big area, though, where people can fly to. And then, like, for the older turtles, I call old people turtles. Sometimes on the golf course, I see a super turtle, and that means over 90. But that is a rare sighting. Yeah. And I get so excited when I see it. I'm like, oh, super turtle. Oh, my God. It's the best, especially when you see him golfing. And then I think, if I just keep golfing, I can probably live to that age. And I think St. Louis should go more blues music. That's what we're known for, the Mississippi blues. But it has to be an area. It can't just be spread out all over town. Detroit, that's a free idea. You know what else I always thought too? There's a little town in California called Slovang. I think it was in that wine movie I never saw. I never saw that. I didn't. I just missed that. Whatever. But it's like a mini Holland. Like there's windmills, and it's fun because you feel like you went sideways was the movie. Is Slovang supposed to be Holland or? I think so.
And now they have a sideways wine tour.
Like cities like Cincinnati has a lot of German history, and they have this place called Mount Adams. It's super duper cool. Very cool. I think we need to assign cities like Americans. Really, a lot of Americans don't ever want to leave America, but they're kind of interested in other stuff. So you don't have to go to Germany. Cincinnati's now Heidelberg. And then you make a theme. Your whole city gets themed out. Right. And you have to be an actor in those outfits for the theme areas. That'll be fucking great. Come on. Yeah, I went to Mater's in Milwaukee just because they dress like that. True. Yeah. It was great. And the food was real. It was authentic. So Cincinnati, boom. New Orleans could be somewhere in France already. They already feel like Frenchies. Right. St. Louis had a lot of French people. We could be like a different kind of France than New Orleans. All right, here's what we're going to close out on today, Termites. I know the St. Louis thing was hard. It's hard. But I'm going to keep you updated on it. And more importantly, these are the new robber barons. This is what they're doing to towns. And I know 2 more towns that I've heard about that might be losing a team. And it's heartbreaking if it happens. I can't say for sure it's going to happen. Just saying I heard it from people. They told me I'm not supposed to say nothing, so I won't. It's upsetting when they don't give a shit except anything about the money. Right. And I know it's a business, but especially painful because he's from Missouri. Oh, fucking bastard. My brother lives not too far from his house, and this is how rich he is. In Columbia, Missouri, Stan Kroenke still has a place. He scrambles your phone. There's about a 1 to 2 mile area of road where your phone doesn't work. Now, do me and my brother know for sure Stan did that? I do not. Nope. Do I think Stan did it? Probably. Yep. Do you guys want to know the history of ranch dressing? We talk so much. Yes, I know. We've talked so much about ranch, and I never thought to Google this, but it came up. It's undeniable that people love ranch dressing. It's creamy, tangy, herby, and it's become a culinary touchstone for millions of Americans who've propelled it to the most consumed dressing in the United States. Why do people love ranch? For one, it's versatile. You can drizzle it on pizza, dip carrots, and use it in cakes and baked goods, sprinkle it onto popcorn. Ranch even has adorned Crocs. That's right. And Halloween costumes. Maybe I have one.
Did you get it?
Maybe. Maybe I'll be in it for the next video.
No!
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's also a nostalgia machine, said Abby Reisner, who literally wrote the book on ranch titled Ranch. People are searching for a happier time. Are we?
I'm good.
I like now.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Pretty happy.
I'm very happy with now. And ranch dressing is a good way to do that. It tastes the same and always has. Reisner thinks that ranch's widespread appeal stems from its flavor versatility. On a technical level, it goes really good with a lot of food. Ketchup is very specific, the tomato flavor. Hot sauce is spicy. Ranch is cooling, so it can go with spicy food. The fattiness of it can complement other acids. I've never thought about it this hard.
Wow, no.
Mm-mm.
No, not at all.
Ranch was not always a refrigerator staple. Its humble beginnings start in where? Nebraska.
What?
Nebraska termites? Congratulations.
Of course it does.
I would not have thought this.
Nope.
We're hidden, but that's not where it really started. That's where he was born. Hidden Valley founder Steve Henson was born in 1918. Not much is known about him. According to 1988 article in Sky, Henson moved from Nebraska to Alaska. I think he only wanted to live in states that ended with
I was
A's.
going to say what? Nebraska to Alaska.
Yeah. During the 1940s, where he found work as a plumbing contractor, building some 2,500 houses and earning more than he ever thought he could possibly earn. Wow, did he make a lot? Because at 35, he retired.
Wow.
What? Oh, shit, right? He and his high school sweetheart, Gail, then moved on to California, where they purchased a 120-acre ranch in Santa Barbara, then known as the Sweetwater Ranch off Highway 154 near the Chumash Painted Caves. The Chumash Casino, the Chumash Native American tribe who I've worked for, lovely people,
Great.
lovely casino.
Mm-hmm. Dry casino.
Just threw that. Yeah. I think it was weird. They had some strange alcohol rules, but that was a long time ago. Maybe it's not. Might not be the case. So it's off Highway 154. The name didn't do it for them. They didn't like Sweetwater Ranch, so they named it Hidden Valley Ranch. The ranch became known as a cross between a nightclub, motel, and a dude ranch. Huh. What were these people up to?
I want
Got
videos.
freaky shit y'all doing up there in Santa Barbara, huh? Los Angeles filmmaker and photographer Alan Barker told the LA Times on some nights when the ranch was hosting a party, Gail cooked up to 300 steaks and then played the organ and sang, while Steve told stories and entertained. Okay, it wasn't all that. The steak, I'm in for the steak,
Right.
and if she can sing, I'm good.
No one's
What adorned those steaks? Ranch dressing. But it wasn't known as that then. It remains a mystery on how Henson devised this ranch dressing recipe. Clorox, which now owns Hidden Valley Ranch, the dressing. Clorox? Believes he perfected what may be a family recipe while working in Alaska. The original included buttermilk, mayo, and sour cream, as well as dried parsley, onions, garlic, MSG. Oh, people wouldn't like that anymore. You're not supposed to. Yeah. Salt and black pepper. The Santa Barbara Historical Museum said. So that was the original recipe.
Okay.
All right. It might have been a family invention? Question mark. A necessity in Alaska? Question mark. The mystery remains. All that is known of its origin is the basics. His guests loved the ranch flavor. He'd send people home with ranch and mayonnaise jars. I never met him, but I know he really wanted to please people, he said. He added, the people loved the ranch dressing, so he began to market it at local food stands and restaurants. Steve brought a sample to the closest restaurant, which happened to be the Cold Springs Tavern, the Historical Society said. The owner tried it, loved it, and immediately put this Hidden Valley Ranch dressing on their menu. From there, he marketed the dressing to a vegetable stand on State Street, and it, quote, flew off the shelves. The business, in other words, was born. Henson started a mail-order business, sending his Hidden Valley Ranch packets all across the country. Business boomed, and in 1972, Clorox purchased a small-time company, growing it into the biggest dressing business in the nation. Clorox bought the brand for $8 million. Wow. Okay. Think of how much it's worth now. We bought this little business that we obviously turned into a very big business, so-and-so said. What became of the Hidden Valley Ranch? It's been sold multiple times over the years, including 1983 and 1992 when it went for $1.6 million. That's not that much for Santa Barbara property.
Right. No.
Something.
That's a house.
Right. A small house in Santa Barbara. No one interviewed for the stories would reveal the exact location of the Hidden Valley Ranch, but we can assume it's near Cold Spring Tavern, where Henson first sold his jars of dressing, which sits off Stagecoach Road in Santa Barbara and is still in operation to this day. Wow. According to historical records, it's likely near San Marcos Pass. San Marcos, another little golf course that me and Mr. Ron White have visited, and I like their hat because it's very simple. It just has a tiny little bear. Henson, the inventor, he died in 2007 in Reno at age 89. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. So there you have it, termites.
It's a feel-good story.
It's a feel-good story. Yeah, I'm not longing for the past. No. Maybe they just think that's a thing for, maybe there's a lot of people that would prefer it be 19, whatever. I'm fine. I'll take now. Now is just fine. All right, termites, that's all I got. It's time to go to Green Bay. It's time to go to Minneapolis. My God, and then November, shoot, buddy, am I busy. A whole week in Florida, all those tons of shows, and then flying out to Arizona. I am going to the Villages. I think they know it.
Excited?
I am excited, yeah. I'm excited about all the Florida shows. Clearwater, there's a bunch of them. Sarasota, Mom and Dad, all that. And then Florida, a week. Arizona, Talking Stick. See you guys there. I think that's already sold out. Both of those are sold out. And then back to Florida. Yeah. And then a casino.
Philly.
Well, it's the Philly crowd that comes out to it. Parks Casino. Yeah. Which is great. That place is super duper fun. And I've never really even gotten to except one time gamble there. Because I'm always in a rush. It's always like, we gotta go. All right, termites, speaking of what am I doing in Green Bay?
Mm-hmm. What are you planning? What are you excited about?
Well,
More cheese?
I can't.
More cheese?
Yes, cheese, bratwurst. I should just go live there. I should just go, but like the cold, I have Raynaud syndrome. All my digits would be numb. I can't take it.
I think Blue Clam Dave's coming.
My friend who took me ice fishing, Blue Clam Dave's probably coming. I have secret plans. My friend Bill Crawford will be the opening act. Very funny man. He's on the radio in Pittsburgh all the time. You know Bill? Very funny. He's coming up to do those shows, which would be great. I haven't seen him since pre-pandemic, so go drinking with Bill. Probably catch up.
What about Minneapolis?
Minneapolis, I don't know. I know I'm on the hunt for a walleye slider. If anybody, because I used to know where to go, and then that place switched into something else, and now they don't have them. And there's only so many states that serve walleye, so it's a treat when you can get it. So if you guys are watching, anybody from Minnesota and you know Minneapolis, if you could put it in the YouTube comments where to go, be mucho appreciated. Mucho amor. I would give you mucho amor for this information. That's probably what I'll do there. All right, termites. Night, termites.